I got you into a Remington party. What's my thanks? It's on the hallway carpet. I got paid in puke. Lick it up, baby. I got paid in puke.
Welcome to Paid in Puke, the podcast where we discuss female-driven films through an inclusive feminist lens, with the help of the 1988 film Keggers. Paid in Puke is hosted by Jessica Baxter, Amy Green, and Christina Barr. It's also a spoiler-filled free-for-all. You've been warned. On today's episode of Paid in Puke, we're injecting Coralie Farjat's 2024 comedic body horror film, The Substance, starring Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. The Substance tells the story of Elizabeth Sparkle, a once-adored Hollywood star with a popular aerobics program who is reluctantly retired on her 50th birthday. Desperate to reclaim her youth, she starts taking a black market drug called The Substance that promises a younger, better version of herself. All she has to do is respect the balance.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect. One single injection unlocks your DNA and will release another version of yourself. This is The Substance.
I'm Sue.
You're hired.
Let's go.
A perfect balance of 7 days each. The one and only thing not to forget. You are one. You can't escape from yourself.
There's been a slight misuse of the substance.
This balance is not working.
Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop?
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
You have to control yourself. Old, fat, disgusting.
People are gonna love that.
I'm Jessica Baxter,
I'm Christina Barr.
I'm Amy Green.
and joining us today to talk about this allegorical nightmare is Bettina McKelvey. Bettina, welcome to Paid in Puke.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be at this table. This is wonderful.
So I asked you to come talk about The Substance when I saw you gushing about it on Letterboxd and Insta.
Yeah.
And would you please summarize what you love about this movie?
I'll start with I saw it for the first time at 11 o'clock in the morning at a megaplex in the mall, the Pacific Place Cinema.
Yeah, you gotta say what
It was Pacific Place, the dead mall that's just a movie theater and a Din Tai Fung. Yeah, that's what I do. I go to the Din Tai Fung and then I go to Pacific Place.
Yeah.
I saw it at 11 o'clock in the morning by myself, the morning of my 43rd birthday.
Ooh.
So not as perfect as if it had been like my 40th or my 50th or whatever, but still, it was a birthday and I was like hungover from my party the night before. And I love how confident of a filmmaker Coralie Farjat is. She makes such bold choices, and this movie is kind of does whatever it wants. And I think it's holding up a mirror. I'm doing hair flip. I'm holding up a mirror to society and showing us the violence of patriarchy and misogyny, and especially in the way that it manifests in controlling women's bodies and the appearance of bodies. And I listened to interviews with the director, and she is like, this is about like the violence that I see in patriarchy and the way society is structured. Of course, it's like in the context of a Hollywood movie or like a Hollywood story.
Yeah, no, that's well said. I liked that she was wearing her influences on her sleeve in terms of you could see exactly who they were, but she still managed to make it her own. You wouldn't think that she ripped off anybody.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this 5 times now. I saw it 4 times in the theater, and then I saw it once on the small screen taking notes. And, like, these are crazy disjointed notes. I'm looking at my notes now, and I'm like, wow, I really was just saying whatever was galloping through my head. And on this viewing, I was really struck by how, since this is like a Hollywood story, it's significant. In a way, I would even just say she's plundering the works of beloved male auteurs and recontextualizing them to deconstruct and not condemn, but hold responsible, like, their industry. This is like the violence that your industry inflicts on women. I don't know. It's beautiful to me.
That is interesting. I didn't think about how they were all male auteurs and then some of them known for misogyny. Not David Lynch, but definitely Kubrick. So I wonder if there were any female influences that she put in there or she purposely left those out.
Yeah, I would like to know as well. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, I'm like,
Corley,
yeah.
Christina, what were your initial impressions?
I think it's such a fun movie. I've seen it 4 times. And I just loved how it's so, like, stylized, and her apartment is very feminine. And I loved all the colors, like, with the egg on the blue background.
Editor's note. The cinematographer is the same one as in Promising Young Woman.
I loved the themes of addiction in it. There's a lot of violence. Like, she's putting herself through this, and she doesn't have this, like, sense of self. I mean, there's so much with the show, and the tagline is always, like, take care of yourself, you know? And it's like,
you got it.
And then, like, I didn't need this movie to tell me that Hollywood is, like, bad to women or beauty standards. It's not like this movie was an eye-opener in that way, but it just had this new way of, like, the violence of it. Women are kind of conditioned to put themselves through. Like, it made me think of all these, like, crazy things women have done to lose weight or something, like a tapeworm diet or wire your jaw shut, or like, there's all these violent things that people do, and this is just really in your face about it. The way that Sue eventually goes to great measures to make sure Elizabeth is, like, very out of sight, and just like this, like,
mad carpentry skills.
I know.
Fall back on that career.
And then she just takes and takes and takes. All the men in the movie, or anyone in her existence, is predicated on what people want to see. And make people happy. They're all gonna love you. And then she actually gets a relief in the end. I mean, that's like the one time she looks in the mirror before she goes on as Elisa Sue, and like that's like the one time she's like fine with looking in the mirror, and like
I do think that's so interesting.
And what if life didn't have to be that way? What if you were cool with disappointing people, or you didn't feel like you need to do these extreme violent things, like go to these lengths to feel like you're seen? And what if you could be happy with yourself? You know, that's such an extreme, but it hit me in that way of like being able to see yourself and know your worth, not need like the external validation. It seems like she really was conditioned to believe the only way to be seen or to be loved was to go to these lengths. And I just really liked it. I love the style of it. I love everything Corley is doing, and I loved it.
Evie. Initial.
I don't have a love for this movie, I'll say. I've seen it twice. The first time we saw it together, and I thought it was very entertaining, but it didn't stick with me at all. Like, I think I never would have thought about it again. Like, for me, an entertaining B movie. And then I watched it again for podcasting about it, and there's a lot I like about it. Like, one is beautiful. Like, every shot in the movie is gorgeous to look at, you know? And I love the segment at the end with the monster suit, all of it. Once that happens, like, I love all of that. I appreciate that it really sort of has its own reality, you know, because there's a lot of things you have to just suspend disbelief for. Like, her career trajectory is like, really, would you really be a big star from hosting a daytime aerobics TV show?
Well, they do say that she won an Oscar.
Yeah, so that's like literally Jane Fonda's career. It's like Jane Fonda winning an Oscar. Cher's won an Oscar. Aerobics. I totally understand. It is a little weird, but when I actually think about it, that's Jane Fonda's.
Yeah. And that's what people remember her for, is the...
She goes, don't forget to breathe.
Everybody has to talk. Now I'm talking right now. Like, I'm talking about Sue. I'm talking about Sue's career. Like, I totally see, like, the Jane Fonda thing. And Elizabeth's career, I see that. But Sue's career is, like, Really? Is someone like a big star in modern times from a daytime TV aerobic show? There's a lot that you have to accept and I'm willing to accept. And I also kind of like some of that, you know, like how, like they send you this thing. She just seems to intuit, oh yeah, I know exactly what to do, right? And Sue's carpentry skills, like there's a lot of that I'm totally willing to accept. I'm genuinely saying I appreciate it. Also the thing with Sue where it's like, oh, by the way, I need to be off for a week every other week. No problem at all, sure. But what I do feel like fundamentally makes no sense. Elizabeth, like, what is she getting out of the substance? Like, she's in a coma for a week while a young person exists. And it keeps saying, like, oh, the two are one. You're not two, you're one.
Remember, there is no she and you. You are one. Respect the balance, and you won't have any more inconveniences.
They're two different people. Like, how are they one? Like, they fuck each other up, you know, they fuck each other over big time. Like, when they wake up, what did she do now? You know, like, that's the part where it loses me is, like, what is Elizabeth getting out of, what is anyone getting out of the substance? Like, she's just, like, in a coma and Sue exists, and then she's back, and it's like... That's, like, what loses me with this movie.
Well, that definitely segues nicely into Hot
Just shut up. Hot Probs is on.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, that is a very valid critique of them not really exemplifying the fact that they are one. Like, how do we know that?
I
Like,
feel if they were
remember.
one, it's like almost like a body swap or something where they're really definitely not, you know? It's not making any sense to me.
That they're surprised by the actions of the other when they get back to being conscious.
Well, like, I mean, I don't know.
No, I agree with that. I do agree that that kind of contradicts the premise. Yeah, I do have some hot props, but that wasn't one of them. That's a good point that I feel like no one has made so far by the critiques that I've seen.
I kind of thought she wants this so bad to have that exercise show that she's willing to be like a slab of whatever in the dark for like a week if her other self can be a star. And that was part of the violence for me.
I totally see, what does Elizabeth get out of this? But I also kind of see it as, well, what do we get out of, like, male approval? It's fucking worthless. It's a bag of rat turds. And this is what the way I was reading it was... Elizabeth getting nothing out of this, I'm like, well, that is also the reality of getting male approval is a little bit worthless to us in the end. It's like the end of The Godfather. If you're like just seeking male cultural approval, you're just going to be like Diane Keaton at the end of The Godfather, watching the guys being backslapping jackasses and then they shut a door in your face. As far as like the mechanics of it, I totally hear it, but it didn't really bother me. For me, the story was not so much about what is the substance and what does it do cellularly. Like, people come in with that lens. I love that too. But something I love about this movie is that they don't tell you where the substance came from, because also, where did patriarchy come from? A critique that I processed a lot, because the first time I watched it, I didn't like, oh my gosh, she got old and now she's ugly. But then I was like, wait, this is Elizabeth's story. This is a Hollywood story. This is a movie that's showing us the violence of patriarchy. I wrote down a quote from the director in a podcast. She says, the movie is describing the reality that I see around me. It's not a kind of, oh, look, the future is going to be great and we can express ourselves as women in our 50s and we can be super happy. I was seeing the violence around me, the inequality around me, to show that this is violent and this is gross. It's like, yes, Coralie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think a lot of this movie is about Coralie trying to like hold up a mirror to the world. Just like Elizabeth was looking in the mirror. There's a lot of mirror acting in this. Oh, I have to say that one of my favorite parts, I have a couple friends who had like a lot of like issues with it. They felt it was played for humor and scenes that should have been sad and tragic. Like the scene where Elizabeth is getting ready to go out on a date with that sweet doofy man who hands her a wet piece of paper with his phone number on it. And then he goes,
there. Now you've got it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
She's supposed to go on a date with him, and she does herself up. She looks beautiful. She's wearing opera gloves to hide her crone finger.
Yeah, the one bad finger.
She starts to get devoured by her, like, crone prosthetics.
Yeah.
She keeps catching glimpses of, like, the billboard of Sue outside.
Yeah.
Which, also comparing yourself to yourself, which is, I feel like a dynamic that comes up for me a lot when I think about social media. Comparing myself to myself from 5 years ago, like,
Flashbacks, whatever.
Flashbacks, yeah. She keeps seeing Sue on the billboard, and then she looks at herself in the mirror, and then keeps going back and, like, putting on more makeup, putting up her hair different. And then eventually just being driven to madness and just like violently rubbing this makeup off of her face. I have literally fucking done that. No hyperbole. I was like, I have done that. I have done that to myself in the mirror. But then I have to laugh at it because it is like a madness. Like internalized misogyny is a madness.
He's doing this all to go on a date with a man who couldn't even bother to like get another piece of paper.
I know.
Put in your phone. We don't do this anymore. Write your number down on a piece of paper.
I'm not very clear what year it is. Like, where are the smartphones? Because I feel like I didn't see that many. I think I saw one or two.
But they did exist. Right, yeah. Well, that's what I was saying before. Like, I was being genuine. I do like that has its own reality. Like, when I watched it the second time, I watched with Matt, who's my partner, and Logan, who's my child, who's 18. And what Matt saw it as is like a comic book story because every frame looks like a comic, like a panel kind of, you know, and how it just has its own reality. And it's not giving you all this exposition and world building, you know. I don't need to know why Sue can build a whole closet or whatever. I do love that they're just like, okay, yeah, I know how to do this, you know.
Yeah. Then it's like, well, because she's also Elizabeth, and Elizabeth knew how to build a
Elizabeth has
closet.
a
Elizabeth sparkle.
Or she should have had a home improvement show instead of
She really should have. Oh my God, yeah. We love Home Improvement. I don't know who we is.
I was going to ask actually.
We love Home Improvement. Me and my Sue. My Sue who lives inside of me. We all have a Sue.
I love trying it, and it always looks bad, not at all. Like, it would look like I took a hammer to my own wall, and you could tell. This one thing that it kind of dawned on me the last time I watched it was a lot of it has sort of nightmare logic to it, and then kind of makes your brain yada yada over the logic issues when you're watching it. At least my experience was that that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then it really occurred to me when her teeth started falling out. Because I was like, oh yeah, that happens in nightmares. Oh, and then the other part where she has the chicken bone in her butt.
Oh,
yeah. It was a chicken drumstick in her butt. And then they're like, let's look at it. And then suddenly there's like a huge screen behind them and everyone's watching it. And then she has to get out of there because they're all about to like watch her butt on a big screen.
And someone says something like, the director says he saw something bizarre.
Exactly. Let's all take a close look at it.
Sorry, it's the control room now. The director said he saw something bizarre on the monitor. Bring up the replay on camera 2. Camera 2. Forward.
Can I have my dressing gown? Sorry, it's in your dressing room. Well, then go and get it.
Let's just take this frame by frame.
That felt so nightmare.
Sue, no, total nightmare logic. And the way Sue dressed really reminded me of Barbie clothes. Like a lame thong, just like, this is my little outfit to become famous as Sue. And like, what does Sue do? Sue has a ponytail, and then she whips around. And she has hot dancers, and she just like air fucks.
Through those hips. Contract, 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 contract. Head between your legs.
And they're like, Sue, you're the biggest star.
She does lead her own choreography. Teaches all the dancers.
Yeah, she does.
She's got a vision.
Yes.
I did feel like one thing they have in common is that they're both slobs, Sue and Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They both make different kinds of messes, but like each time one of them wakes up, there's another kind of mess, and they're both so annoyed about it. I don't know. I kind of have an antagonistic relationship with people who are like such egregious slobs in movies, but I also thought it was funny.
I thought it was on purpose. Like, she's doing that as an aggression
Yeah.
towards Sue.
But also bothered me that they don't even put like a pillow down for each other. Like, there's no.
Oh, I know.
care.
It's just, there's so many shots of Demi Moore just laying there.
Yeah.
And just being treated.
With her face, like, smashed on
There's
the
like,
ground.
the violence of Sue eventually kind of snapping. I don't know, maybe because she sees Elizabeth as like the Matrix. There's like this extreme sort of violence toward her when she finally snaps.
Heather, why can't you just be a friend? Why are you such a mega bitch?
For me, the substance kind of resonates, not just the violence of like actual beauty routines and stuff, it's also just the way we look at ourselves and talk to ourselves, which of course is like because of what we're socialized. The violence of the inner self-hatred is very real too. That really resonated with me, man.
Yeah.
Because I have not gotten work done yet. I have an attitude about it that I kind of see as plastic surgery anarchy. Like my mom tried to be all, Madonna looks crazy right now. And I was like, oh my God, Mom. Like mocking women for getting plastic surgery or getting work done is also like not what I want to do.
Oh yeah.
In my life.
That's misogyny as much as like telling you
Totally
need to.
is. Because then there's like this gross conversation that's like the good plastic surgery and the bad ones are like, she's got to get the good kind that like looks invisible. I'm like, oh, so she can do it, but it's got to be invisible.
Right. Like we have to be
You're
fools.
Gonna do it.
Yeah, there's an economic factor to that as well. Like, the good quote-unquote surgery costs more, so you have to be more rich and famous to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt that a lot too, like with Sue on the talk show, like, what's your beauty secret? And she's like, I just try to be myself. Always lead with my heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not. Yeah, and like she's like, here's your beauty
little beauty secret.
Yeah, I mean, like,
siphoning off of me.
Just one little trick of yours that helps you look so incredibly stunning. I mean, look at you.
Here's your little beauty secret. I guess I just try to be myself, to be sincere and grateful for all that I have, and to always remember to lead with my heart.
Oh, America's sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
But there are like so many celebrities that they're like a spokesperson for some like bottle of cream you can get, and it's like, this is my secret, and it's like, no, that's not your secret. You paid money to get some surgery.
What is Jennifer Aniston's lotion again? It's like Aveeno. I'm sorry, can we not say Aveeno?
I mean, we can say it.
Aveeno.
They just won't pay us for it.
Money, please. Money, please. I was just like remembering she's got some sensitive skin lotion sponsorship. Yeah, being a movie star is also kind of ridiculous.
That is so true, like that there's no way she buys lotion at the drugstore.
Yes, she does. She's got like a whole Fallout shelter stocked with
Totally.
That's what I would do if I had a lotion sponsorship. I would just put it in my Fallout shelter.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a hot ticket after the bomb drops. I do wish, I know that they were going for minimalism with the instructions, quote-unquote instructions, that are basically just one or two words printed in giant fonts on some cards.
Yeah.
But, like, they really should have told her, like, lie down after you inject yourself.
No. A
little bit of what to expect.
I mean, I thought that was like, drug dealers don't tell you how to self-care or whatever, you know? But she's like this glamorous woman, and she's going to like a abandoned cinder block room, and this is what you're willing to go through.
The door won't even open all the way.
Yeah,
so
she's
it's
got
something.
to squat down.
And then, like, nobody acknowledges her. She just has to say she's 503 for them to answer her.
Yes.
Yes, hi. This is Elizabeth Sparkle. I'm 503.
Yes.
All of the men in the movie, even the doctor, like when she's had this accident, it's like, happy birthday. My wife's a big fan.
I just want to say my wife is a huge fan. Blood type. Oh, hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, that's an emergency. I'm sorry. I had to have a. Bye.
I don't know, there's just not a lot of empathy or like care. Even, like, the guy that Sue's hooking up with, her nose is bleeding, and he's like, are you okay? And then, like, he's waiting for her, and he's just like...
Sue? Something wrong? Are you a little cranky because you're related business? Sue, open the door. Come on, Sue. So funny, I need to take a piss.
He doesn't really care if she's okay or not.
They just want this particular part of her that they see, and that's it. And then I liked the stark contrast with, like, how the neighbor treats Elizabeth versus Sue, and then also, like, the motorcycle hookup guy. Like, Elizabeth sees him the next day, and he's just, like, aggressive. Yeah.
What? Hey! Move!
And it's like, wow.
Yeah, definitely that difference resonated with me. Just like the pure aggressive hatred on sight of a middle-aged woman existing in front of you.
Yeah.
That some people have. Not everyone, but some people. And I also thought it was nice how we didn't even see the neighbor until Sue, like, we didn't have to see that he was all ready to be a total fucking dick to her until he saw that it was a hot lady, and he probably treated Elizabeth like trash all the time. Before that, he was like ready to yell at this middle-aged lady that he hates that lives across the hall from him.
Open up! God damn it! You gotta open it!
Sorry. I thought that Miss Sparkle...
She moved out. I'm the new tenant. Sue.
Oliver.
You wanted to complain about something, Oliver?
What? No? No.
Ugly ass neighbor man, some ugly ass pervert neighbor.
We're hammering in the middle of the day. Like it was even after quiet hours.
Oh, another thing I noticed about this movie that I really liked was unboxing.
Yeah.
In my notes I have unboxing as a visual language.
That's
and
true.
Subscription boxes and the like minimal instructions on like cards with like a designy font.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is how people get shit in the mail too. And it's kind of like, if the substance were real, I swear to God, that's how they would be brought.
That's probably true.
Just shrink wrapped, like here's a Spinal Tap. Here you go.
I feel like I have gotten things in the mail where I had Google extra instructions because it wasn't sufficient. And they were always like some sort of beauty thing. That is so true. The whole unboxing culture. That's kind of more a Sue's generation thing, but but it definitely exists. Yeah, the graphic design.
That substance font.
Yeah. Oh, I do have a fun fact about that, which is that they created it for the movie. I googled what it was. It was like, it's sort of reminiscent of one specific font, but it's custom.
Yeah.
I love the acid green liquid. Brat Summer green or whatever, but I'm just like, substance green lives on
It's
more
also
for me.
reminiscent of The Reanimator, which used to be a movie that people talked a lot about in the horror realm. The Reanimator fluid is exactly that color.
I've never seen
Reanimator. It's so good. It's a Lovecraftian zombie.
Okay. Who's the director again?
Stuart Gordon.
Okay. Is it Frank Henenwater? Is that the guy who also did Frankenhooker?
Yeah, I need to get in on that. I still haven't seen Frankenhooker.
Oh, you know,
it keeps coming
walk,
up.
don't run.
Okay.
It's worth seeing.
I was thinking you've never seen Frankenhooker.
How have you never seen Frankenhooker?
Does anybody have any other hot props?
Well, the scene when she sees the old guy in the diner.
Did you follow me here?
I was just curious to find out how things were going for you. Each time you feel a little more lonely, don't you think?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, do you think this is the other guy on the substance? It's like, they show the thing on his hand, and they show it again, and then they show the young nurse assistant with the thing on his hand, and then he drops his little substance case.
Has she started yet? Eating away at you?
You got
it. I did write that one down too. I was like, that is a little bit much.
Or is she referencing John Carpenter? Because that is the most John Carpenter-ass way to like get people to pay attention. I love John Carpenter, but the way that guy makes movies is hilarious.
That
He's
is
like,
such a good point.
Yeah, John Carpenter really spells it out for you. But that's why I love him. He has a lot of confidence in his really heavy-handed idea.
Yeah, I mean, it was like comically heavy-handed. Like,
Yeah.
do you think the old guy in the diner was like the guy, the nurse assistant? It's a little bit too like, why is the only other person on the substance like this nurse's assistant? Early beta tested.
I know, and the fact that he approached her about it in such a vulnerable moment. She's in a hospital with her back exposed in a gown. I thought that was interesting that he preyed on her. It's selling drugs at an NA meeting or something.
Yeah, maybe it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That incredibly intense car accident where he's like, well, you don't have a broken bone in your body. You're fine. Happy birthday.
It's your lucky day, Miss Sparkle, because we have x-rayed you from head to toe, and you don't have so much as a cracked molar. So, you are good to go. Oh, hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Poor Elizabeth.
But I like the theme of the exposed back as like this vulnerability.
Yes.
Like she has the dress that's exposing her back when she's drinking
She's
the
at the bar. I
martinis.
was going to say, I think that's the night. That's her birthday.
It's
That
her
is
birthday, yeah.
She has had a really violent car accident and she has emerged from unscathed and then drinks a bunch of gimlets or something at the bar. And that shot of her back alone at the bar. So gorgeous. So good.
And then she's throwing up in her dress, like in the
just
toilet
throwing
the
up in her
next
nice
day.
dress.
And like,
Ugh.
yeah, like
Terrible
just
birthday.
very low moments, you know?
And it's just we laugh because otherwise all we can do is cry.
And then
that is the release I felt I got from this.
Well, and then Sue has this black jumpsuit with the zipper that zips all the way to the front, and it's like she's protected and in power. She's in control. And that's like the red dress when Elizabeth goes out to meet that guy to get her validation or whatever. And that's a zip-up dress. And like she's in control in that moment until she starts to leave the house, basically.
It's
and then she can't.
with that weird extra long zipper tassel so you can do it without any help.
Yeah, Sue has that too, I think.
It's like a lonely girl's zip-up dress.
She has no social life at all.
She has no friends.
No buddies. No.
She doesn't even talk to the woman that vacuums her carpet.
No.
I thought that was an interesting callback. She's in her apartment and there's a lady vacuuming for her, and then she eventually becomes vacuuming after Sue.
Yeah.
When Elisa Sue goes out to be in the show and she tapes Elizabeth's face on, that's a beautiful face that you started out with. I mean, like, Demi
But
Moore
it's
is
the one
like...
that she didn't like her younger self.
Yeah.
She threw the snow globe at, and then Sue was like, fuck this picture. So then by the end, she's like, oh, I guess I was pretty. That's like a relatable lady moment, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember when I was that age, I felt so ugly, and now I look at that beautiful young girl. And
I have moments like that when I look at pictures of me, like, from my 20s or whatever, and I'm like, oh, God, yeah,
Exactly.
like, it's hard to be nice to yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what the movie's about. For me, it's like...
It's about
what if
how
you were
we're
nicer to yourself?
I mean, nobody is
What if-
nicer to anyone in the movie. This is what being shitty to yourself gets you.
Yeah, it's like a waking nightmare.
Yeah.
I wish Monstro Elisa Sue lived. That's my main hot problem. Is I wish she had lived. Because, okay, when I saw this in the theater the morning of my 43rd birthday, the first time I saw it, I was like, how are they going to end it? Because there were so many times when I thought they were going to end it. I did not realize until I got out of it was over 2 hours long. And I did not feel that. I was like, wow, it's 90 minutes in and out. And I was wait, no. The pace of this movie is really great. But with Monster Elisa Sue, I did not see that coming at all. Like, one of the endings that I thought was happening was when Sue's teeth are falling out. I was like, fuck yeah, she's going to like host the New Year's Eve show.
The New Year's Eve show.
You mean
The network's biggest show, 50 million viewers, live. You can't go higher than that.
You can't get higher.
Yeah.
You're at the very top.
No, right?
The New Year's Eve show. Sue is hosting the show. And what is the show? It's just ladies with these rock hats, like Radio City rock hats with their tits out.
Yeah, they said it's a network show. And their tits are out.
It's
There's
the
tits
top
on
show.
the network.
It's the top show. You can't get higher than that.
That is such a funny line.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be it. She was going to go on stage and bleed all over the place. And then it did something else, and I was like, God damn you, I love it.
Yeah.
God damn.
I love, like, the Elephant Man reference as well with the way that her head looks.
Oh, yes, yes. How old were you when you first saw Elephant Man? Because I think I was 5.
Probably not that young, but a child. Definitely a child. It was like an important movie that my
parents
wanted
wanted
my
to
dad.
see,
Yeah.
I like that bookend King Kong reference. Like, oh, when was she in that? The 30s in King Kong or whatever. And then in the end, it's like King Kong on the stage, that scene.
Yeah.
Where everybody is horrified.
Yeah.
The monster! Shoot the monster! It's a freak!
The violence that ensues.
Yeah.
Ensues.
Good
one.
Next call.
All right, well, I guess we could do some meaningful passages.
Oh, yeah.
I've already started underlining meaningful passages in her copy of Moby Dick, if you know what I mean.
It's kind of interesting how few lines there are, really. Like, the script is pretty devoid of dialogue.
Yeah.
It's a very visual experience.
Yeah, all the language is simplistic, or would you say it's simplistic? I don't know. Like, it was just like, there's not a lot of words. Yeah, like, there's not
yeah,
I think
actually,
it's very deliberate.
Yeah.
all of my quotes are things that I just saw on screen, like words on screen. I don't think any of them were spoken dialogue. I'm just realizing.
Oh.
One is 18 to 30 only. 18 to 30 only, and I believe 2 exclamation points. I think that's the ad for recruiting the new Elizabeth Sparkle.
The newspaper ad.
Elizabeth just cracking open a newspaper.
I know.
Talking on her landline phone.
For work. Yeah, that's true. That is like an out of time.
Oh, another quote was, new show coming soon.
yeah. A show.
New show. I think it's like the first billboard that appears outside Elizabeth Sparkle's apartment window. New show coming soon, and it's just Sue being like...
Which is another nightmare logic thing, too, where it's like there's a billboard that's facing right into your apartment.
Yeah.
Like, who's that for? It's not just to torment you specifically. I like when she meets the guy from school or whatever, and he says, I followed your career, what a success. I mean, wow, wow, wow. And then she says, wow.
You know, I followed your career. What a success. I mean, wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
That probably is how those sorts of meetings go, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I did kind of know you a little bit, but I don't know you at all now. I thought that was very poignant. And maybe just another thing that they wanted to get off their chest about the way people talk to famous people.
Yeah, exactly.
They feel like a possession over them, and you can hand them dirty pieces of paper.
Mud puddle papers.
I hope it's mud. Who knows, right? That could be a lot of different things outside hospital.
Oh no. Very rude of him.
It is just like a quick shot of the exterior. I'm sure it's not really a hospital. Like, I don't know what building it was, but it's such an interesting dystopian looking building.
Yeah.
That she's just standing outside of. Editor's note. The exterior for the hospital was the Anthea Theater in Antibes, France. Most of the movie was shot in France, doubling for LA. Oh yeah, this is like what you were talking about with the writing, where Sue looks at the thing that says switch every week without exception, and then it just zooms in on the word exception, and then she's like, got it, exception. I will make an exception.
I love the scene with Dennis Quaid, and I thought Dennis Quaid was perfectly cast for this. He's in this movie I love, Postcards from the Edge, where he's very much that type of man, and he's just disgusting. And the lunch business meeting where he's eating the shrimp and just like making all these gross sounds of saying, at 50, it stops. What stops? I love that whole thing. And then he just can't even, he like goes and talks to somebody else and just like abandons her at the table. He's like, I'm done with this.
Renewal is inevitable while he's got like crab grease all over his face and like a full mouth.
People always ask for something new. Renewal, it's inevitable. At 50, well, it stops.
What stops?
You know, oh, George!
Yeah, I love how disgusting most of the men are in this movie. Men age like wine. Oh, do they? I put men age like wine, but I don't think that's actually a quote in the movie, but I put it in quotes. I was just feeling bitchy. So I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I was watching it for the podcast, and I was just writing down my bitchiest little thoughts. Men age like wine. Oh, do they? Because that is so like the.
That is what people say.
And then I feel bad because I want a world that's like, beauty neutral or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we all just be like animals or whatever? But yeah, the common adage, is this an adage? Men age like wine. Like some of them look like regular people and it's okay. But this movie goes out of its way to show us old men not flatteringly presented.
Yeah, like all the investors.
The investors are all Sue facing down, and she can't open her mouth because it's full of blood. That's how I thought it was going to end. I thought she was going to bleed all over herself in front of old man investors. Because also that would have been like to them as horrifying as whatever monster Elisa Sue was doing, which was, I don't know, just living her life and being amazing. And I love a monster Elisa Sue, and I want her to have a whole movie.
Me too. She's like, gotta go to work.
Gotta go to work. Where is she? Is she a barista?
So that's like when he says, pretty girls should always smile.
Is everything okay? So smile! That's what we want tonight! Pretty girls should always smile!
She does a closed mouth smile. And if she had opened her mouth, it would have
She would have bled everywhere. That's where, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been, if you'd been like, let's see some teeth, and then she was just like, blah, and then teeth came out of her mouth. But I really like how it went all the way to, like, exploded blob on the star that is mocked
Yeah, the pretty girls always smile. Like, I remember, like, when I was younger, getting that, like,
That's
from
like-
randos,
yeah.
men on the street. You should smile.
Yeah. That is, I think, a lot of women's exposure to misogyny.
Like,
It's
oh,
why aren't you smiling?
yeah,
Like, I don't even know
smile
you.
for
Yeah.
your amusement.
Or like I think you dropped this, what, your smile. To me, at
Oh
least.
my God.
I
Yeah.
can think of 2 times that.
Oh my God. One time that happened and I was with one of my friends and it was when we were walking down the street, literally heads thrown back, cackling at something that we'd said. And then this guy's like, you dropped something. And we're like, what? And he's like, you're smiling. My friend's like, what did we drop? What did we drop? And then he held up his hands like we pulled a gun. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. But I was like, what, we're smiling? We were doing the thing.
Right.
We were doing the thing you wanted us to
Not
do.
like that. Not like
It's
that.
like,
Not like that. Not on your own terms with your friends. No.
You have to be smiling at me.
I need to be part of it. I need to be part of the group.
Yeah, like, pretty girls can't be sad. No, you have to be...
You have to be on. You have to be on,
You have to be fun and make everybody happy or whatever.
That is such a great callback with Eliza Sue. That really is the best part. The callback to the audition where it was like everything's in the right place, or like she should have boobs on her face, or whatever it was.
Great dancer. Too bad her boobs aren't in the middle of her face instead of a nose. Next! Looks like everything sure is in the right place this time.
Everything sure is in the right place this time.
Yeah.
Oh, she like pukes out a tip from her head. Oh my God, it's
I loved
glorious.
that.
And it has like an umbilical cord
It
attached.
has an umbilical cord attached.
It almost looks like a giant eyeball. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure was it an eye or a boob. Like, the way.
Just a wet tit on the floor attached to an umbilical cord. Thank you, Coralie. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to like what you were saying about like the neutralization of bodies. Like, that is a happy ending in a way because it is just a bunch of body parts. Like,
yes.
what if we all just were like, that's a boob, you know, it's fine.
That would solve so much shit.
I loved Elizabeth's face just like stuck in this open mouth position, and she's literally a total captive.
Yeah.
I thought that was really
Like, she
visually
just got
strong for
kicked
me.
to death.
Yeah.
And now she got resurrected as this It's like a Botox comp on his face, like I can't move my face.
I mean, yeah.
But when she explodes and like John Carpenter's The Thing's her way all the way to the star, she can move her face and lets out a sigh of relief almost before she disintegrates. That's what it takes for a woman to get some peace of mind. Amy, did you have any lines that you liked?
Yeah, because the closest I came to getting sold on the premise of the substance being meaningful to Elizabeth was at the end when she's almost terminating it and she can't go through with it because they're all going to love you when she says you're the only lovable part of me.
Yes.
Come on. You're the only lovable part of me. You have to come back. You have to come back. Come back.
I know.
And like Sue is such a cunt. She's not that lovable.
You're the only lovable part of me.
I know. It's so sad. The first time Sue emerges, she takes care to like sew up her own back, and then gradually it gets to this point.
I don't feel like she does that carefully.
I don't think she did. I think she could have done a lot more stitches, get it tighter. That's gonna be a real thick scar, you know.
I mean, given the material she was provided with, they gave her like a rope and it looked right. She was doing her best. Better than I could have done.
She did a real great job on that indoor hidden closet.
That's such a good point.
She could have figured something out. When she cares about something, she does a great job.
Yeah, that's true. Because she's putting her out of sight, like to do that closet. She does something for her, and then gradually she goes to the closet and like squeezes the bag, and she's like, "Don't eat too fast." Gradually treating that body like worse and worse.
Yeah.
She does heal up nicely though.
Yeah, it's
that
great.
She heals from
but man, that first shower when she wakes up, because neither of them have figured out that like they need to make sure they don't collapse in an unsafe place. Like it works if Sue collapsed on her, she's like, oh
yeah.
And then she takes that shower and her just like raw wounds.
Looks like it hurts.
It looks like it hurts a lot. Yeah. Oh, poor Elizabeth. I feel so bad for Elizabeth.
That shower set is so fucking cool. It's such a cool effect as it gets like longer and longer as things progress. And it has no windows or door. Like it's just a box.
Yes,
so maybe she is a carpenter. She built this like shower with no obvious door. And it's just this like eternal tunnel where the camera, I forget when exactly that happens, but at one point it just goes so far up.
Yeah.
She's just huddled on the bottom.
I really liked her construction. It was just kind of random to me. She's using all these power tools in her Barbie bikini t-shirt top or whatever.
Would you like to know what it says on her crop top? Because it says Summertime Hawaii Club. It reminded me of, again, Barbie clothes. Barbie clothes and like
totally.
Just like
it just sounds like never-ending fun.
Summertime
She's just
Hawaii
never-ending
Club.
fun.
She's wearing her little underpants shorts and then her like crop top. It's a Summertime Hawaii Club.
Sign me up. Oh, that is a good point. That is very Barbie, yeah.
I love come and get your fucking Jurassic Fitness. I love that.
Oh, because Sue is being such a little bitch on this late night talk show.
I can't really say that I actually watched her show. You do know that we're not exactly from the same generation. And you have to admit, it was a bit old-fashioned. Jurassic Fitness, really. Jurassic Fitness. It needed a change. You want to see some Jurassic Fitness? You want it? Come on, come get your fucking Jurassic Fitness!
It's kind of like Snow White, like she's sort of like a witch making
her like grotesque
witch's brew or something.
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, everything she makes looks really gross.
She's cooking those disgusting, really heavy French things to leave for Sue.
It's all like organ meat.
I loved how there's like food spread all over the walls.
Yeah.
Like she really went for it.
You're right, like she does basically turn into the witch from Snow White, like physically.
Yeah, I love all those like references to that.
Although the difference being that we see her naked, and I didn't notice until for some reason like I watched it on my home television this last time. Just a brief shot of her sort of crawling down the hallway naked, and she has like a little dangling labia.
Oh, really? Hell yes.
Look out for the dangling labia.
Ooh, dangling labia representation. I love
Exactly.
it. I love it.
And then when it first cuts to her leg with the knee.
Oh, she can't straighten her knee.
I first see it in the shower, and the music is like the darkest music in the whole movie. Practically the reveal of like this old lady's leg. What could be more horrifying than the leg of an old woman?
Yes. That did bother me.
I thought that was an interesting juxtaposition. I don't think it was like Coralie being judgmental about it.
Because I feel like Coralie's trying to tell us like that's how the world sees her.
Right.
It's like this is the worst thing that can happen. I'll be old.
You can see the veins in my leg. You might as well die.
It's Elizabeth's lens, and Elizabeth has a real problem with internalized misogyny.
Definitely. Like literally her entire self-worth is wrapped up in her appearance. It really sucks for her. Even though she's such a master carpenter and aerobics instructor.
Even though she's
and won an Oscar.
So many skills. And she won an Oscar in one of her bodies.
Any other meaningful passages?
When Sue's boyfriend is a babe. The most half-hearted.
Right.
Babe?
That was very cute.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, I guess something about your lady business or something.
Because he follows like a trail of blood to the bathroom, and then he's like,
Are you a little cranky because you're related business?
well, I tried.
Oh, was that the guy with the hairy butt?
Yeah.
Cut to the butt.
What else does a suicide need, huh? Now, if you'll excuse me.
That's something I really thought was interesting and almost like a magic trick. I don't even know how she did it, where she is showing young boobs and butts, and they're not sexy. It's almost like a parody of the male gaze.
Yeah.
And it's like, isn't this ridiculous? Even though they're nice butts, but it's just like, isn't it ridiculous that this is what people want?
It
And like when she
is.
drinks the Coke, she like takes the Diet
It's
Coke out
such
of
a
the fridge.
commercial. Yeah. What I have heard is that Margaret Qualley is wearing prosthetic tits.
Yeah.
Those are not her real tits. And then I think for her ass, I think it's like a body double. So,
Is that right? Wow.
And that's what I've heard. But I think that was like a choice to be like, none of it's real.
Yeah.
Like, I love when Sue is first born and is all dewy in this kind of modern looking rich bathroom.
Yeah.
And sees herself. But like, yeah, I remember being like, the nipples on those tits are just like a tad too... What's the fruit? Mango color. I'm like, what's the fruit I'm thinking of? Mango color.
Yeah.
Her little mango colored nipples. These look a little stagey, and I was very validated.
Right, yeah.
But the director just like the interviews I've heard with her, I feel like she wasn't doing anything without a lot of thought behind it. And I think that she was trying to say something by not having Margaret Qualley's actual body be in it.
Yeah.
But it's Sue.
I'm Sue. I'm Sue.
Yeah. Basically, it is like there's no such thing as a woman that can meet
She's
these
a-
standards.
Yeah,
You have
she's
to
a perfect
make
woman who's like prosthetics and a body double butt.
Yeah, you have to Frankenstein together the perfect woman.
You have to Frankenhooker them together.
Margaret Qualley said that like her skin, it like took her like a year to get back and had a lot of acne in Kinds of Kindness from all the prosthetics from this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then Demi Moore when she was all like Gollum-y.
Mhm.
I think that took a lot of her day to get into
Hours
that.
and hours, yeah. It was very effective, though. I definitely love that Coralie is really adamant about using practical effects. Like, she basically wanted no CG in the movie. I think there might be, like, a little here and there, but she was like, as little as possible.
Yeah.
I love that. I love John Carpenter-style practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, creating a whole separate back prosthetic. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes it's almost glaring, but maybe that's on purpose. Some of the back shots, and especially when it gets like more and more raw, and the needles going.
You mean like the Spinal Tap shit? Oh, for sure. Oh, I love that though because I love lots of very specific types of body horror and anxiety, like pustules or something that are triggering to me. Everybody gets to be upset by something that happens in this movie bodily. It is like the most like thorough body horror ever.
Yeah. That's a good point. She's going for that probably.
For sure.
You blow it tonight, girl, and it's Keggers with kids all next year.
Fern, do you want to talk about The Substance with me a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you remember it? I know it was a while ago we saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I've seen it twice. I've
So
seen
it's
it
stuck in
twice
my
now.
mind.
I definitely remember a lot of needles.
Yes, that's a particular phobia of yours.
Yeah. I had my eyes closed for half the movie.
Yeah, there are a lot of needles. It wasn't even really possible to tell you to close your eyes for parts because they just keep coming and coming.
There's so many.
Yeah. So what do you like about it, though?
Well, I gotta say, some parts of it were definitely worth all the needles, because, like, it's really good. I love some of the shots, like, the symbolism was awesome as well. One of my favorite moments is, like, when that guy who lives next door to Elizabeth, and, like, Sue is working on building the closet for Elizabeth's incapacitated body.
Yeah.
And the guy starts, like, banging on her door and yelling at her, and then she opens the door, and he's expecting Elizabeth, but then sees Sue. He immediately starts being nicer to her because she's pretty.
That's right. And young. She's obviously...
Yeah, she's pretty and younger. I'm not saying Elizabeth isn't pretty.
Yeah.
She is. But, like, it's a good way of, like, showing that.
That's true. There was another moment where Sue's boyfriend is leaving. Remember, he, like, leaves his helmet, and then he comes back and gets it later, and then...
Yeah, that one, too.
Elizabeth is in front of him when he's trying to leave, and he's like, get out of my way, bitch. Basically, he's so rude to her because he just sees, like, a middle-aged woman, and it makes him angry.
Yeah.
When he was literally fucking her in a younger version of her body the night before.
Another part, I really like when it's kind of showing, like, how the men are portrayed. I liked that a lot. The powerful men aren't, like, what you would consider attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, men can gain, like, power and status in many other ways, but the only way a woman can gain status and be respected is by being beautiful.
That's a good observation, yeah.
And it doesn't last forever, so eventually they're going to lose that status.
Yeah. When you hit 50, it stops, is what the guy
when you
says.
hit 50, it stops.
And she's like, what stops? Yeah, and all those, like, producers or whatever they are, investors in the hallway, those old men.
Staring at her.
Yeah.
As she's, like, literally falling apart.
Yeah. But as long as she can still smile.
Yeah.
Pretty girls should always smile.
And there's, like, he's trying not to, like, let blood drip out of her mouth.
Because her teeth just
her
fell
teeth
out.
are falling out. One of the parts that was, like, really painful, that was, like, too real for me, was she was, like, getting ready for the date with her, like, old classmate. And she, like, keeps changing her makeup and, like, looking in the mirror and then changing stuff or covering something up or adding more makeup. And every time she looks in the mirror, she needs to, like, go back and fix something.
Yeah.
Or, like, looks out at the billboard that's positioned right into her window.
Yeah, she keeps trying to leave the apartment, and then she sees the billboard, and then she sees, like, the reflection of the billboard.
Yeah.
She sees her face in the doorknob. That's such a relatable moment for me, of, like, I saw a distorted reflection of myself, and I felt hideous. It's like, that's not really what you look like, though, but that is something that happens.
When I take pictures of myself or look at myself in the mirror, sometimes I'm like, oh, I look cute today. But, like, sometimes I'll be going to bed, you know, I'll, like, get up and look in the mirror and be like, damn, I'm ugly. Like, damn, I'm ugly. And then, like, just brush my teeth and go back to bed. It just, like, fluctuates so much. It's, like, so hard to love yourself when society keeps telling you that you're only a good person if you're beautiful.
Yeah. And not only just beautiful, but, like, perfect.
Absolutely.
You can't just be beautiful at your core. You have to also have the right makeup and clothes and all that other stuff.
Yeah, and you have to, like, present yourself so perfectly.
Yeah.
And, like, all the men don't care about that stuff. Like,
yeah.
That dude who was, like, flirting with her was just wearing, like, a t-shirt. And the, like, producer dude who was eating lunch with Elizabeth and was, like, literally about to fire her just
grotesque.
then.
Yeah.
And was, like, open-mouthed chewing. And she's just sitting there, uncomfortable.
Yeah. Totally. He doesn't have to think about how he looks
Like,
at all, ever.
He doesn't have to think about how she thinks of him.
Yeah.
But she always has to think about how other people think of her, because that's what matters to them.
Yeah.
Or, like, he's trying to avoid, like, actually saying it to her.
Well, yeah. So he says when you get to 50, it stops, and she asks, what
Like,
stops? What are you talking about? And he doesn't have to answer her.
He hand waves it, yeah. He doesn't want to say it out loud because it makes him seem like a bad person.
Mhm.
We know he is, but, like...
Yeah.
He doesn't want to seem like a bad person to himself. Or, like, he doesn't want to say it.
Yeah.
Because it's a shitty thing to say in any context, but still, like...
Totally.
He doesn't want to say it out loud. Sometimes symbolism being really like on the nose and like in your face is better than it being really subtle, because that's how it is in real life. Like everything is just so blatantly terrible.
That's true. That is a criticism of the movie, is that it's just a little bit in your face, but it's like, so is misogyny.
Yeah.
It really can be exactly that explicit.
Like, what were you wearing is still like a really common phrase to say to people who were assaulted. And it's like,
yeah,
this is still a very big problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in Mickey 17, where it's like, I mean, this guy seems a little over the top, but like, yeah, but so is the actual guy who's in charge.
Yeah. I mean, if the fact that you're reminded of someone specific through Mark Ruffalo's performance in that movie means that it's pretty spot on, I think. It's like being too obvious what? Like portraying a fascist?
Because like that's the guy who's actually in power. It's not over the top when like that's how it is. Mm-hmm. Society is over the top. We need to tone it down a bit. Yeah. We need to be more subtle. We need to be not misogynists.
Yeah, well, I guess I picked the wrong time to be a human being.
The needles, I feel like it couldn't have as much of an impact if it was like with pills or something like that.
Yeah.
It's pain, like having to do that many needles, going through so much hassle and pain just to love yourself, or just so that people like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like you need to do all of that just to have self-worth. Especially that period of time where it's just like, I don't want to exist in this body.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of more extreme beauty treatments that stars like Demi Moore undergo. Like, Botox is a lot of needles in your face. And
Botox.
There's a lot of, or just like full-on surgery where you're getting general anesthesia.
Yeah, there's like this,
to get the fat sucked out of you and that sort of thing.
I like that woman on the floor who wanted all that money to get a BBL.
Exactly.
Or the D-Pass thing I saw on the internet once, where it's like putting so many needles in your face to like tighten your skin and make you look younger. You're like burning your skin off, and it's like really, really painful. You get like numbing cream and it's still really bad. It's like you're going through all of this just to like...
Just based on some before and after photos that someone showed you.
Yeah.
And then you pay them a shit ton of money for it.
You pay someone a bunch of money to be stabbed so that you can get some compliments.
Maybe, yeah. You're hoping.
You're hoping that you look good, and if they botch it, then you're fucked, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you can just undo it.
I mean, that is a whole thing. I mean, you don't see it as much now, but early aughts, there were a lot of people who were kind of famous for having botched plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Like this woman named Jocelyn Wilderstein. Like, she was basically only famous because she'd had so many facelifts that she looked weird.
Mm. They show this in the movie. Like, you can't go back. Like, after it starts going wrong, you can't go back and you start falling apart. Like, you can't keep yourself together forever. These, like, anti-aging people on TikTok who, like, go through so much shit every day. It's literally so dystopian. Like, they're like, don't smile too much or you'll get wrinkles on your mouth. Or, like, you have to sleep in this very specific way or you'll get wrinkles, and that's bad. They're like, how am I supposed to make sure that you do this? Like, just don't sleep. Don't go outside because the sun ages your face.
Exactly. Like, cover yourself all up.
Don't eat this thing, or never eat sugar again, or don't do anything, and you'll never age. And it's like, well, you're gonna age eventually. You can't keep this up forever, and you're already spending so much time trying to preserve yourself. It's like that saying, the only way to live to 100 is by avoiding all the things that make you want to live to 100.
Yes, that's very true.
Like, if you want to stay young forever, then you have to waste your entire life trying to do that. It takes so much time just to do all this like routine just to stay young, and it doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, when these people see one wrinkle pop up on their face and they lose their minds, because it's gonna happen eventually no matter how much cream you put on your face.
It's true. It just has to.
You're gonna age or you're gonna die. There's no way to prevent aging other than death.
That's true. That's the number one most successful beauty treatment.
Skeletons can't wrinkle.
Was there anything you didn't like about The Substance?
Well, I mean, that's more of a me problem, but the needles There's so many needles.
Yeah.
I understand why. It's just like, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
That's a legit hot prob for this podcast. Like, just something that didn't work for you specifically. Because you were like,
I cannot watch the whole thing because of all the needles.
Yeah.
I have to spend most of the time just, like, listening to it.
It gets really over the top, too. I mean, the point, it's purposefully trying to make you uncomfortable about the needles and the length of the needle and all of that.
Like, the scene where she keeps getting injected in the same spot was, like, painful.
Yeah, where she's getting all that fluid drained out of her.
And, like, Sue doesn't want to switch back and, like, keeps just prolonging it. It's like, no matter what you do, you can't prevent it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. Nothing lasts forever. She knows that she's dying, but literally does this thing so that she can, like, get praise from a bunch of strangers.
Just to host this New Year's Eve show.
Just
Who
to
the
host
fuck
this
cares?
New Year's Eve show that, like, what, like 200
It's like
people
a regional New Year's Eve show, I assume.
Yeah.
They're acting like it's the biggest event on the planet. It's,
I mean, it is in, like, LA, but still.
I mean, I do think that's part of the point, though. It's just like, this is actually not that big of a deal, but
like
she's
that,
acting like it's like getting the Pulitzer Prize or something.
Yeah, that New Year's Eve show, what happened is probably going to be remembered for a really long time.
That will go viral.
And like this, what the fuck?
Yeah, the bloodbath.
What happened?
Our lunchtime poll for this episode is, who would you cast as your younger self in a movie? Because the rest of us are older, but you already are your younger self, so... Can you think of anybody who you would cast to play your older self at this moment in time?
Older me. Well, you said that Savvy from the Queer Kiwi looked like an older me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was watching a YouTube video with this person with like rainbow hair, and he thought it was me for a second.
Yeah. Are they an actor or just a...
No, they're a YouTuber, but she's also still pretty young. I don't know. I don't know a lot of actors that look like me. Yeah, this prompt doesn't really work for me because I'm still baby.
You still baby.
I'm still small.
I like that. Yeah, that definitely was like a weird thing for me where I looked over your shoulder and I was like, wait, how are you there? And also older.
Wait. I mean, you probably looked at my face more than I've looked at my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most actors look the same to me. Some of them are recognizable, but a lot of actors...
They all look like Chris Pratt to you.
Yeah, that's a guy. He was in something. All the actors in The Substance, I had like never seen them before.
Yes. Well, Demi Moore, the main person, Elizabeth, she's an actor who's been around since I was a kid, but she kind of had a big hiatus because that exact thing happened to her where she basically was made to think that her career was over because she was too old. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Also, like, the actor who played Sue did a really good job.
Oh, I love her. Margaret Qualley. Yes, she's amazing.
Yeah. All the acting in the movie is really good.
Is there anything else you want to say about The Substance?
I found like some of it just too real. Especially the part I talked about earlier where she's getting ready for the date. Like, that's just too real. Like, I like look at myself and I'm like, that looks bad. I'm gonna do something else. How about I just don't go outside ever again?
Exactly.
The cookbook, like all these like disgusting meals. The fact that he gave her a cookbook was like such a... I mean, it also seemed kind of over the top.
He says that everybody chipped in. Like, the whole staff got together and paid, what, like $1 to give her this like gross cookbook?
Yeah, he said his wife used... I bet that he just like took it from his wife because she didn't use it ever.
Oh, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, like all that stuff was so gross.
It looked disgusting, I know. It was like French cooking too, which is funny because the director is French, so she was kind of making fun of her own cuisine.
Like, oh dude, the chicken, the part with the chicken.
Yes.
I could see the symbolism there. The phrase, looking at women like they're a piece of meat, is like just something to judge. Or like a dog at a dog show. It's just like, the creature can't like make its own decisions. Kind of just like there to be carried around and shown off.
It's true.
It's very good. I really liked it. I don't think I would like to rewatch it again though.
Yeah, you've seen it twice now.
I've seen it twice. It's painful. Very good movie. I liked it a lot.
Yay. Thanks for talking about the movie with me, Fern.
Yeah, this is like perfect for this podcast, I think.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about it. That's why I endured it again.
It's nice to get the opinion of the younger Satch the Sues of the world.
I say we just grow up, be adults, and die.
I guess we could talk about the Demi Moore narrative. I almost said Nicole Kidman because I'm still thinking about how she didn't get any credit for Baby Girl. But
yeah, no, she is wonderful in Baby Girl. She's wonderful in everything. I love Nicole Kidman. We come to this place for magic. I love her.
She's amazing. But Demi Moore, this is like her comeback role.
Yes.
And it's kind of a bummer that she didn't go all the way to getting the Oscar, but...
Oh, not surprising at all, though. Like, the Academy is so fucking cowardly. The Academy is just run by a bunch of, like, dummy old people that don't understand art. I'm sorry I call them old people, but they are. They're old white men that don't understand art and don't like genre movies. And they love 22-year-old girls, though.
It is true about the genre movies, especially. That's always been a frustration. I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's weird because it's this club that isn't really for me, but I still am like, I don't like the choices they make. And I'm like, it's never going to be for me. It's going to have to be a completely different thing to reward the movies that I think deserve awards. But we've just been taught that it's like the most validating thing you can have as any part of the filmmaking career. If you get the Oscar, that's it. That's the best thing you can do.
I know. I feel like
you can't go any higher.
Stop that. Because I don't know. The Oscars are so. I mean, okay. You know about the worst Oscars ever in like 1989 with like Alan Carr. Yes. The one that was like produced by Alan Carr. The fact that like ruined multiple people's careers. I'm like, God, you guys are like not fun at all. I was recently revisiting that opening sequence of those Oscars, and I was like, man, it's not perfect, but like, God, people acting like it's something that we need to treat with like the secrecy of like the CIA is like crazy to me. It's so homophobic. Yeah. So homophobic to just be like, no. Because I don't know if you remember the beginning sequence, it's like Snow White.
It's like a Snow White musical number.
It's Snow White themed musical number. And they got like some like rando lady from some auditions. She had not been like an actress in anything else. And I guess the day after those Oscars, some guys showed up and were like, you have to sign this thing that says you're not going to talk about this for 13 years.
Wow. 13 years?
13 years.
Why 13 years?
I don't know. It's pretty intriguing, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
They were like, don't talk about this for 13 years.
That's some Illuminati shit.
That is some Illuminati shit. Yeah, they were like, this is so bad. Don't tell us anything about your audition process. There is a new book out about the Academy Awards. And people's NDAs have expired, so they've got some like some lady stuff. Yeah, I love it when people's NDAs expire. It's the shit.
That's the best. Or somebody died that.
We need just sort of database of like the expiration date of NDAs. I don't know how we get that information. But I love this.
Hopefully the people who need to be tracking it are tracking
it.
Wow, yeah, because there's plenty of dumb musical numbers at the Oscars over the years. Like,
I know!
I don't
Right. I mean, how many times did we have Billy Crystal in blackface?
How is that not the worst? Right.
My God.
He can't stop doing blackface. That's why he can't host anymore, because it's like, I can't do it without blackface. I just
you're not
can't.
Gonna do that.
Right. Like, no.
Yeah, no, Billy Crystal reached a point where he makes me nervous when I see him that he's gonna do something weird. He can't host the Oscars anymore. I don't trust him. I trusted Conan O'Brien. I was like, he's not gonna be horrible. But Billy Crystal, oh God, I'm trying to think of other people who hosted the Oscars. But yeah, he makes me nervous. I don't see him as being relevant anymore, and I feel like he might be a little bitter.
Yeah. Like when I think about the one that I hate the most, the one that comes to mind is Seth MacFarlane. I saw your boobs.
Right.
Oh, okay. You saw your boobs or whatever. Like, how's that not way up there?
No.
That's fucking gross and not funny. And it went on a long time. It was like a long number.
No, that guy's a piece
God,
of
I
shit.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Gross. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Didn't people, like, for some reason hate him when Whoopi Goldberg was the Oscar host? I remember that was the first.
I think she's hosted a couple times.
Yes. I'm trying to remember the years that she hosted. I think one of the first Oscars that I was really paying attention to and getting kind of like emotionally invested in when I was like 12, I want to say was hosted by Whoopi Goldberg. It was the year that Holly Hunter was nominated for The Piano.
Oh.
And Angela Bassett was nominated for What's Love Got to Do with It. And it was like, ugh.
Anna Paquin won.
And, that was supporting actress. I think Holly Hunter won for The Piano. So there's two actresses for The Piano, which is honestly, I love that. But also, God, Angela Bassett and What's Love Got to Do with It is so good.
She's still waiting on that Oscar. She should have gotten one for Strange Days, I think.
Oh, yeah.
If we're giving out awards.
If we're giving out our fantasy Oscars, where we have infinite Oscars every year. Right. We have 5 best actresses. Everyone wins. Everyone wins.
I mean, why not? Why don't we create an awards show like that? It's time.
And Winona Ryder's hosting it every year.
Oh my god, yes.
Imagine Winona Ryder hosting an awards ceremony.
Oh, yeah. She could just do whatever she did on that. Was it the Emmys where she had the face?
Golden
Oh my god, no. That, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I loved it so much, and I think about it all the time, is Winona Ryder. She's in the background of, like, my actress from
It's
Stranger
just like
Things.
Stranger
like,
Things won something.
And she's, like, in the background just being like...
I found out later that she said it was because she couldn't hear what anyone was saying. So those were her, like, I'm trying to listen faces. I can't hear what's happening right now.
That's still so good, though.
But,
That's what she looked like. That's what she looks like when she's trying to...
When she can't hear her. Yeah. There were some pretty funny videos of her reacting to things with the...
Oh my god, I love it. What a sweetheart. I love her.
She is the best.
No need.
Oh, I've got a fun fact.
Oh, do you? Go ahead.
Coralie wanted the Dennis Quaid character. She originally wanted Ray Liotta for it, but he died. He would have been great in that too. But I love Dennis Quaid in it.
I did love it.
He's from like 5 miles from my hometown, Ray Liotta.
Oh, really?
It's from Union, New Jersey. I remember when we were teenagers calling information Liotta, Union, New Jersey. He wasn't listening. He probably didn't still live there. We still tried to call his mom's house or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Fun with the phone book.
Fun with the phone book.
Oh, here's one. The first episode of Pump It Up that we see is an homage to an actual music video that came out in 2004 called Call on Me. Eric Pryde's Call on Me, and he spells his name Prydz. The costumes, the choreo, and the shot composition are all from that video.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's another one of those things where it's like, well, this is a little over the top, and it's like, no, actually, it's ripped from the headlines. Like, this happened.
Ripped from the headlines.
Everyone's talking about Call on Me.
Talking about Eric Pride.
Eric Pryde. Call on Me. Maybe it was big in France.
Call on Me. Oh my god, no, there's so much stuff that just is like really huge in Europe, and you're like, okay, no, I like this, but like, I don't know about it.
But this is famous?
This is amazing that everyone, this is taking Paris by storm, okay? The French think they're so cool, but they're the biggest nerds. They would love Eric Pryde's.
Great pate, but I got a motor if I want to be ready for that party tonight.
So this is what's called a lunchtime poll.
So who would you cast to play a younger version of yourself in the inevitable movie about you?
Oh my god. Oh, that's really hard though, because are we talking about like throughout history? Or like
Like the Sue version of you.
The
like
Sue version.
Who is the
But I definitely think time and space are no object in this fantasy.
Right.
Who would I want
The
to
substance
play
level
this?
realism, whatever you want.
Okay.
I mean, I went with who is alive and young right now because I just had fun thinking about that and thinking about the young actors of our day. So I came up with 2 options. One is Barbie Ferreira, who was in
Euphoria. Unpregnant.
Euphoria. Oh, she's so good in Euphoria.
But not
She's the one
because of
that
role.
becomes sort of like a cam girl or something.
Yeah,
she's a
Okay.
cam girl, yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of her except that we covered that movie Unpregnant that she's in.
Oh, yeah.
And she kind of plays like a grunge girl, a little bit of a goofball, rock and roller.
Yeah.
So I saw a little bit of myself in that performance. But then recently I've also been watching Yellow Jackets.
Oh yeah, me too!
And I feel a vibe with Liv Hewson, who plays like the young version of Alicia. Nope, not Alicia Witt.
Lauren Ambrose.
Lauren Ambrose, thank you. Obviously, they would have to dye their hair black, but just their mannerisms, their sense of humor, I feel like they could capture me really well with that
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. I can see that.
Okay. This was hard for me because I feel like I don't know a lot of young actors, but there's this one actor, her name's Joey King, and she was she was Nicole Kidman's daughter in this Netflix movie, Family Affair, and it was like not a great movie, but I enjoyed her a lot, and I thought she was fun.
She's in the Kissing Booth movies, right?
Yeah.
I only just learned of her because she looks a lot like my friend Grace And someone dropped a picture of Joey King in our karaoke thread saying this looks like Grace. Then it became a whole thing.
Didn't she also play
She's the daughter in The Act.
The Act, that's right.
Yeah, and Patricia Arquette's her mom.
What's The Act?
It was like a Hulu, like
The
Munchausen.
who she's her boyfriend killed her mom.
Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose, thank you.
Okay, yeah,
There were two movies at the same time about that. She basically didn't know she was not dying of cancer for a long time, and like her whole childhood goes by a prisoner, and then she meets this guy somehow, and he kind of lets her know that she's being victimized, and she went to jail for real for conspiring to kill her mom. She just got out of jail this year, I think.
Gypsy Rose. Yep.
So yeah, anyway.
It's a heavy show. Yeah.
I went with Caitlin Deaver.
Yeah,
call back to our very first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Booksmart.
Yeah.
Have you seen Booksmart?
Yes. I love Booksmart.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like her. I feel like that's how I picture my younger self, I guess. And there's a couple scenes in Booksmart where she and Beanie are like very me and my friend Laura. So I always like relate to her a little bit for that reason.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Having seen some pictures of you, younger version of you, you're like, yeah, just totally.
Honestly, probably Kulascola.
Yes.
I think Kulascola should be my substance.
Yes,
should
they
be
can do
my
anything.
I would kill to see that. That sounds amazing. How old are they?
Oh, I don't know.
They
A
play
little younger than
30s.
me. I'm 43. It's wonderful. I do like being 43. I love being in my 40s. It's pretty fun.
I like being in my 40s too.
Yeah, I like it.
Gotta come out on the record and say that.
Yeah.
40s are good.
Yeah, they're good. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, 40s are good. 40s were good.
The only thing I don't like about getting older is the pain. Like, the things falling apart and then the hurting. At this point, anyway.
Oh, I know. The muscles on my back are just like a thing of like macrame. Like it's like nothing but knots upon knots upon knots.
Yeah. Totally. Oh, when she straightens out her knee.
Oh,
yeah. I feel like
the
I've done
hardest
that
part.
before. My God. I was always telling myself the legs are the last to go, but I don't know what I was talking about. It's the opposite. They start breaking down like ASAP.
Yeah. Knees are so fragile. Even young people can fuck up their
Goddamn
knees.
How very.
Well, final thoughts about The Substance.
Perfect Demi Moore role. It just was the right role for the right person, I felt. I liked it. I just have been watching her for as long as I've been watching movies, pretty much.
Yeah, totally.
So I really liked it.
I love the casting of Demi Moore. I had read her memoir. I can't remember when I read her memoir, but I listened to an interview with the director, and she said that she had listened to her memoir before seeing her audition, and really kind of made her think that Demi Moore could, like, not just be like, ugh, how dare you come to me with this role where I'm an aging actress, and this is how you see me. Like, she thought that Demi Moore had kind of had this reckoning with her time in Hollywood and being in Hollywood for so long.
Yeah.
And the way she was treated and how she looks is, like, really informs how she is treated. And, like, the injustice of some of that. I loved that she had read Demi Moore's memoir before.
Yeah.
And had that sort of context. And also because Demi Moore in her memoir kind of seems to be resigning.
Yeah.
Because I think her memoir came out in 2019. Demi Moore's kind of been out of the public eye significantly for a while. And she's kind of like looking back on her career, and it's kind of like a eulogy to her career.
Yeah.
And I love knowing that she's going to be in The Substance in like 4 years or 5 years. I'm like,
doesn't know.
oh my God, you have no idea. Like, in her memoir, Demi Moore's like, G.I. Jane. It's like the role I'm most proud of. And like, no shade to G.I. Jane, but you know. I don't know, like, but
you can do better.
You can do better. This is something a little more powerful and like poignant to you. But yeah, I'm so glad that Demi Moore found this role and that this experience seems to have like radicalized her. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. agree. I hope we see a lot more of her and her little dog.
And her little dog. What's her dog's name again? It's like not quinoa.
It's a little
Quinoa. It's not quinoa.
We're cooking quinoa.
He's got a derpy little tongue.
I know. Little dummy.
Well, thank you so much, Bettina, for coming. This has been so fun.
No, thank you. It's so fun.
Do you have any socials or anything you want to plug?
Well, I have a public Instagram account, Dionne Warwick Davis. It's Dionne, Dionne, like the singer, Dionne Warwick plus Warwick Davis, the leprechaun actor.
Nice, I love it. You're a very fun fellow.
Oh, thank you. I just want to warn people, it's like you want to laugh, but then I'm just going to post really bummer political things all the time.
I mean, that's what's happening. So it's happening. We can't escape it, so might as well lean into it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I got to come talk to everybody.
Yeah,
I love
it's
talking
fun.
to the
Thank you.
Talk to people about the substance. Talk to the substance about people.
The two are one. So.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, you are one.
Remember, you are one.
If you enjoyed this episode of Paid and Puke, please take a minute to give us 5 stars on your preferred podcast app, such as Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon. If you did not enjoy this podcast, no further action is necessary. Follow us on Blue Sky at Paid and Puke Pod, on Instagram at Paid and Puke Seattle, and on YouTube at Paid and Puke Podcast. Paid and Puke is hosted by Amy Green, Jessica Baxter, and Christina Barr. Music by Silent Partner and Jessica Baxter. Produced and edited by Divine Betty Media. Thank you for listening. You're beautiful.
Lick it up, baby. Lick it